It's the Friday Cocktail, presented by Anna Glavinsky.
Welcome back. And for such a small island, Iceland has really had a huge impact on global pop music. And to talk us through the hows and the whys and the ins and the outs of that, Arnar Eggert Thoroddsen is joining me right now to talk about his book, Icelandic Pop, Then, Today, Tomorrow, Next Week. A very intriguing title, that, actually. How are you doing this afternoon?
Well, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us. Talking about this book, where's the title come from?
Oh, this is like a reference to Sugar Cubes album, which is called Today, Tomorrow, Next Week. So it's like a play on that title, and of course, you know, underlining the role of, well, Iceland in the book, so, something like that.
And the you know, looking back in time as well. Who would you say was like the first artist to really like make it global from Iceland?
We have like a year zero in that aspect, and that's the Sugar Cubes. That was the first band to really get noticed. The first band to have a real track record with a few albums, tours, right up in the underground press, and so on. So this was in 1988 that Foreign Ears and Eyes were on Iceland suddenly, and we were a bit surprised, you know. We're just a small island somewhere in the north, you know, no one knows about us, but having a singer called Björk in their midst helped as well. So that got the ball rolling, and we're still getting to terms with it, really. And finally, we have a proper book about this. I would like to call it adventure.
And so, when Sugar Cubes did start making it big, how did the local population respond? Was it just with immense pride? Was it, we need more of this? We need to sort of build more momentum here? Or was it just sort of sit back and scratch your head, going,
Good question. A surprise is really the thing that got to us first. There's a genuine surprise that, you know, anyone was interested. But there's of course a slightly more complex backstory to it, because the Sugar Cubes, some of the members were in punk bands, so there was the ground had been, you know, done a little bit in the UK before the success of the Sugar Cubes. But as in any country, you know, people are. So, do people only hear me, or do they see me as well? Or?
No, we can just hear you at the moment. I can see you. Our listeners on the radio can only hear you.
Yeah, they can't see my.
He's tapping the side of his nose here.
talking with my hands. No, and. It's like, it's human nature. You try to use the energy you get. So doors were opened. So bands stepped into the footsteps of the Sugar Cubes, and this all ties into Iceland being this nation which is also trying to play alongside the big boys, you know.
And well, how do you guys make that happen? Is there a collective push? Do you have, what's the music scene look like? What's the support there for local artists? Or is each successful artist standalone, they just did it by themselves?
No, and this is a big factor in the book itself, that, you know, we have this, and I hope I pronounce this correctly, we have like this village aspect.
Okay.
You know, how do you say a small town? Village.
A village.
How do you
a village, yeah.
Yeah, a village. There's a big village factor in Iceland, so being a small country, all communications and stuff like that is very close-knit. The proximity is close. So I would say when you have like a popular music community or society, people help each other out because everybody knows each other. So it gets, you know, your uncle lends you a guitar cable and stuff like that, you know. So we help each other along. I know I'm painting a Moomin Valley fairy tale here, but it's kind of like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's the possibility. You're not in London, you know, where there are 2,000 groups, with all the same looking indie boys within them, we have much lesser numbers here. So, that's how we do it. And then, the internet age and all of that has helped massively along with, getting connected and all of that. We don't have to move out of Iceland to do operations anymore. The bands don't have to move to London or New York to be able to work. They can be here and then do their massive world tours just from the base of Iceland.
Yeah, just go and do a massive world tour and then come back. But that actually does spark a question, because if you've got this, this sense of community, people helping each other, people knowing each other, what's it like when someone, Björk, for example, let's just take her, is going massive, recognised globally, and then comes home and will... just have a cup of tea with the neighbours down the street? Is it like that? Is there still a sense of like fame and celebrity, or is it a very grounding place for a global celebrity to come back to?
Well, it's almost possible for Björk, what you describe, but it's correct that for her, and she's spoken about it. She manages to ground herself here in Iceland, and she seeks it more now than she did. She was, once she lived 50% of the time in New York, 50% of the time here. Now she lives here exclusively. So there's kind of a code, you leave her alone if you see her. It's kind of an Icelandic code. And this is what she does. But I know what you're getting at. Like we have this band of Monsters and Men. And, the singer just lives in the same street as me, actually. Wow. And so,
I love Monsters and Men.
Yeah. So this is what we're working with. But yeah, people are not chased down the streets or get, paparazzi annoyance or anything like that. Reykjavik is a really small city, and Iceland is small. So everything you've heard about how beautiful it is and how extreme the nature is, it's all true. It's all true.
So, do you think that has an impact on the creativity of the people who live there as well? A way to express themselves differently from people in other parts of the world, would you say?
I think being in a beautiful country like this and in nature, has been exaggerated a little bit, Mm-hmm. It's not that we gaze up on a beautiful mountain and instantly write
start singing about it,
something like that. Yeah, that's not how it works. But I think what spurs the creativity is this informal communications, lack of bureaucracy, and all of that. So people are more free to do what the hell they want. Mm-hmm. It's feasible for them. And there's one theory going on that if you have no chance of making it, just do your own stuff. It's you're not in a competition. You don't have any chance being an Icelander, being world famous. So that has been used as a theory of why people like Björk and Sigur Rós have become so famous, because their music is not normal. It's quite avant-garde and out of the mainstream.
That's a really interesting point. So you're saying there's not even so much of an ambition, perhaps, to be seen. It's just creating for the sake of creating. And then occasionally when it resonates with the wider world, well, boom, mm-hmm. You're just onto something good. You're not copying everybody else. Yeah.
That's someone not... Of course we have... Because Iceland is just a normal Western society, so we have all these Pearl Jam bands and Nirvana bands and all of that as well. But we also have this, especially downtown Reykjavik, we have this hipster scene there. Well, the same as in Brooklyn and Shoreditch or whatever these place names are. But I know what you're getting at. This people have talked about unusually high activity, creativity. And being a sociologist and a researcher, I'm close to accepting all of these theories, not just out of Icelandic pride,
Okay, well, I'm sure it's all justified.
Just a sociological truth.
I'm sure you back it all up in your book. Your book's called Then, Today, Tomorrow, Next Week. So talking about today, the artists of today, who are we all looking at and what's going on at the moment?
Well, now we have this global star, which is called Glowi. That's how it's pronounced.
Okay. I always said Laufey, but...
Yeah, I was going to say the English pronounce it Laufey.
Yeah.
And Bjork and Sigur Rós and, all of these strange pronunciations. But Glowi is really making the grade. And we've never seen anything like that before. She's so huge that we're scratching our head over that. And, half Chinese, half Icelandic. And she's really playing the plug and promotional game to the top somehow. But she's also, just to put it in context, like of Monsters and Men, Kaleo, Glowi, this is normal music, This is not avant-garde. This is, mainstream pop music. Yeah, so that's a new thing as well. People were starting to expect weird music from Iceland, but now we're also churning out great normal music. So, we're masters at everything.
Normal music, as you call it. Mainstream. Fantastic. Well, then, so that brings you then to tomorrow and next week. How is the music scene evolving coming from Iceland? If we're watching the Icelandic musicians, what do you expect still to come?
We're still, it's still energetic, it's still quite active, and now I can answer in a very professory way. I don't know. I don't know, because these things also, no one was expecting Glowi to be that big. No one was expecting of Monsters and Men to connect so well. But it's fertile grounds here in Iceland, so this is a thing you can do, and as you can see, and as is detailed in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. And the book itself, how is it written? How have you laid out the story there to grab people's interest?
Well, I'm an old-style chronological nerd, so this is a chronological book. I take every decade, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all of that. So it's in order, it's chronological. But I have like a conclusion chapter where I try to depict and find some kind of an answer to all of these, to the adventure. And then we have lovely photos as well, and it's a lovely prose from Arnar, I have to say.
Yeah, lovely book, is it?
A clever chap.
Fantastic. All right, well, we'll leave it there then. This has been Arnar Eggert Thoroddsen.
Yeah, Thoroddsen.
Yeah, it wasn't. Didn't think it was there. There we go.
It was quite good.
Thanks. His book is called Icelandic Pop. Then today, tomorrow, next week. You can find it on Amazon or the Talk Radio Europe bookshop. Arnar, thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Cheers.